Buckled into a car and no way to get out. The campaign to end hot car deaths this summer. Welcome back. Since 1998, more than 960 children have died in hot cars. Numbers from Kids and Car Safety says Arizona is #4 in the nation for kids dying in hot cars. Our Arizona heat is intense, you know this. Experts say these tragedies can be prevented. On National Heat Stroke Prevention Day, we are breaking down the steps that you can take. We have Rick Murray with us, the president and CEO of the Arizona Chapter National Safety Council. Rick, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, it's already warm out here as we stand on this pavement. Could not imagine how hot a car could become.
Well, as I heard before, we're like in preheat mode in Arizona.
I like that, yes.
Right. But even on a 70-degree day, the inside of a car in an hour can be over 110 degrees. So I think one of the things that we don't realize sometimes is how quickly the inside of our cars can be too hot for anybody,
so
especially
we need to
children.
Focus on that idea and know that a couple minutes is not cool.
Correct.
And then this is a huge problem.
Well, we have 37 deaths average per year for children in hot cars, and we know that nobody sets out to do that on purpose, and so we want to be here today to kind of tell our viewers what can we do to be more vigilant to make sure that we don't have those accidents in the future.
Thank you for being here on this warm day. Let's take a look because we've got a car with some car seats here. What do we need to do? What do we want our viewers to know? How can we stop this from happening?
Well, I think one of the things we want to make sure is that we interrupt our routine, because sometimes we get into these routines and that's where we start to forget that we have something in the back seat.
Right.
So put your briefcase back there, maybe your cell phone, a teddy bear of the child, put it back there. So so that will help you remind that there's somebody in the back seat. And usually what we find is that these accidents happen to those who are not used to the routine, maybe like a caregiver, a grandparent who may forget, who's not used to having somebody in the back seat. So it's just being aware and these new routines that we're always in.
Provide some safety nets for yourself in this space. If you're picking up a toddler that you usually don't pick up, if you're have an appointment that you're not used to having, so really safeguard those spaces. How do families ever recover?
You know, we all understand the importance of our own children, and can you imagine this, just going through this as your own child doing this, and you know, how do you recover from that? And I think that's why we're really trying to get the message out there, because you really almost can't recover from that kind of tragedy because it's so preventable. I mean, we're talking about pools and kids. Now let's talk about cars and kids as well.
Let's talk about the person in the parking lot who's walking to their car and they see something in the car next to them. What are we doing?
Well, we have every right in Arizona through the Good Samaritan law that we can make sure that the doors are not they're all locked. Then you can break a window. Now you need to stay there with the child, make sure that the child is safe, and then call 911 until help arrives. But we have every right here in Arizona to help not only children but animals, pets left in vehicles as well. It's not okay just to crack a window that's still hot in a car, and just by cracking a window that does not reduce the heat at all in a vehicle.
Why do you want to get involved in an organization like this?
Well, I'll tell you, because when you take a look at this being so preventable, and that's what we want to talk about, these preventable deaths, and we want to make sure that nobody has to go through those tragedies, and so we want to help educate our viewers and your viewers too.
No doubt about it. And we have so many different resources out there. You want to remember to put your purse back there, put your cell phone back there. You know, you said a lot of new technology as well.
Right. And if they want any more information, they can go to nsc.org/hotcars, and they can get all sorts of training videos, information to help them, remind them, give good tips on how to avoid these tragedies from happening. So
And the heat stroke, what you kind of see the first signs with what?
Well, the heat stroke is sweating, red cheeks. You know, we can all see that right away. I mean, we see that in myself every day when I'm out in the sun. But so drinking water, obviously, when we're not even thirsty, we should be drinking water all the time. We know that here in Arizona. But of course, now we're getting into the heat time of the season. We just want to remind people.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We hate reporting on these stories. Our hearts break collectively when this happens. So hopefully we can make some good information out there for the people today. We have so many different resources that you can find online, azfamily.com. Click on the Scene on TV tab or download our free news app.